The Story of an Hour was written in 1894, when the 19th century was coming to an end. American life is changing rapidly as the world enters a new era. In the 1890s, for example, the workplace is changing dramatically. Gone are the days when most of the people expected to work in business or agriculture. The industries brought about by industrial have made work more efficient. And many factory owners have gradually introduced human treatment, allowing them to take more breaks than ever before. Technological advancements such as electronic lights and radio expansion have improved the daily lives of many and created new jobs as the country plunged into economic crisis. However, it should be noted that women's jobs are different. Generally speaking, professional women are despised by society no matter what they do. Married or pregnant women are more likely to be in this situation. Women in cake chopping social class were never to be asked to work, and were sometimes given the responsibility of running the household or raising children like slaves or guardians. In the 1890s, jobs were often restricted to women who are financially disadvantaged. In response, the National Electoral Commission was established in 1890 to fight for women's social and political rights. Although Kate Chopin is not a full member of the feminist movement, she personally believed that women need to be empowered too, and these ideas are frequently referenced in her book, A Story of an Hour. The most common theme in Chopin's history is the struggle for freedom and oppression. Simply put, oppression occurs when a person's thoughts, feelings, desires are suppressed. Depression can occur both internally and externally. For example, if a person is in serious accident, he or she may choose to suppress the accident memory, intentionally or not. The community can work suppress that person if there is an interest that the community deems unacceptable. In the 19th century, women were often victims of oppression. They should be respectful, gentle, and friendly. They often conflict with women's interests. From this perspective, it is clear that Louise Mallard was a victim of social oppression. Louise felt that way until her husband died. During their marriage, Louise was oppressed. Louise was at home and Brantley was seen by readers around the world. Brantley voluntarily entered his home with only transportation and personal items such as bags and umbrellas. On this way home, Brantley ignored the news of the train wreck. Louise, on the other hand, is stuck at home because her family and heart disease. Here, Chopin makes a powerful comparison between male and female interpretations of freedom. While freedom is only part of being an American man, it seems to be very different for a woman. Louis' life was shaped by the community's attitude toward woman and her husband's behavior. However, Louis' husband sees after her death how she can fight for more masculinity for herself. Chopin shows the importance of freedom in a woman's life, and the return of her husband is not shocking. It is the idea of eventually kill Louis, but the idea of gaining her freedom. The topic of current affairs is most about marriage than adults. Mallard's marriage reflects the reality of life in the 1890s. Marriage is a system of social control. That is, it helps to control woman and ensure the social political power of man. In order to husbands to travel the world alone, if they continue to work and make important of family decisions, wives, at least in the high society, should stay home and do household chores. In the case of Louis Mallard, there was a little love in marriage. She sees her marriage as a lifelong bond. And readers sometimes only love her husband. She describes her marriage as a long desire of man and woman to control their desires. In other words, Louis Mallard felt that it was unfair because she wanted her life to be decided by her husband. Like this story, Kate's marriage often ends prematurely or unexpectedly. The women in her family, including Kate herself, survived and never remarried. History tells us that Kate Chopin was happily married but knew that there were not many women. Chopin's one-hour story shows a marriage based on control and social protection, emphasizing the importance of a world that respects women and competent partners and competent individuals in marriage.